What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Back again with another video for you guys. It is Sunday, beautiful Sunday out here, so I felt like, you know what, let me do another Ride With Me edition. And today I really just got to go and run a little errand, I guess. Last night I had the misfortune of cracking my camera lens, so today I'm just gonna go and get that fixed. And I figured, since the weather was so nice and it feels really good outside, I figured, you know what, hop on the bike, let's take a ride. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that address in there, and then you know how I get down. I'm gonna go ahead and see what it's like when I avoid them tolls and the highways. Let's see how much time it adds. All right, 28 minutes, that's not too bad. So we'll go ahead, throw a leg over this thing, and get to moving. I also got some updates about the bike, some good news, some things that I want to get done. So this coming week should be pretty fun. Could be able to shoot some more content and hopefully get some stuff done with the bike. So let's get rolling and I'll get right into that. Man, it's such a nice day outside. Honestly, I really feel like it shouldn't be that much traffic. So if it's not enough traffic today, then, or not enough, but if it's not a lot of traffic today, then that's going to be a plus for this ride. So I really hope that that is something that I don't have to worry about, because you know, when it comes to traffic, you got to worry about stuff like this guy right here trying to hop in front of you, and you know, other cars, you're welcome, you know, trying to get where they're going. The less amount of people on the road, the better the ride, you know what I mean? Anyways, to dive right into the update or the topic for today, like I said, I broke my phone last night, so I'm about to ride up to this cell phone spot and hopefully get this done. I called them and they said it was only like $40. It'll only take about 30 minutes, so hopefully I can get in and out of there. But you know, for the exciting news that I have for myself and the channel is that I'm actually getting the bike lowered. So I made mention to when I made my first video that I would be getting my bike lowered, and I actually ordered the lowering kit for this bike, ordered the lowering link and then also the kickstand to go with it. Because obviously the lady told me when you lower the front, you got to lower the back, and then you got to change the kickstand out and everything like that, because if you don't, then the bike could run the risk of falling over, all types of stuff like that. I don't know why my helmet feels so weird today, but you can run the risk of the bike falling over and all that. So I had to do the whole shit boing boing, and yeah, so that's what I did. That was you know, outside of the exhaust that I put on this bike, that was like the second real mod that I actually looked into. And I placed an order probably at this point 2 months ago. For whatever reason, T-Rex long wrist springs was back ordered on all their stuff, so I didn't get my stuff, and neither did anybody else. And I finally talked to a lady and she was like, hey, yeah, it should be in on Tuesday, so just bring the bike up here and you know, we can take care of everything, and also, you know, just we can look at anything else that you wanted to do. So I brought up the clip-ons as well. But anyways, from everything that I understand with the clip-ons, or with the lowering process rather, is that they lower the front end of the bike using the forks. So pretty much, you know, unloosening the triple tree and all that stuff like that, and then they lower it, and then obviously the forks would stick up, and then they use the link for the back. But I told you guys when it came to these clip-ons that I had a clearance issue, and I essentially had to install them backwards. So like I said in the video when I told you about having these installed, that they really should be coming out this direction, so they're actually on backwards or whatever. The left one's on the right one, the right one's on the left one. And the only way that it seemed that we could possibly get these clip-ons to work and have a much aggressive seating position or sportier handling position is to do either one or two things. Well, not one or two things. We'd have to do two things. We'd actually have to lower it in the front and have the forks sticking up through the triple tree, and instead of mounting them below the triple tree like they are originally in the stock form, we would simply place them on the top where the actual fork is sticking up. That way there would be enough clearance issue for me to actually get the 7/8 angle, or whatever they call that thing, the 7/8 degree, whatever it is. But in order to get that and actually have it clear, that was what was on the table. However, when I was at the dealership getting that done, I didn't have lowering links. I didn't have any of that. So it would have been a situation where the guy who was working on my bike, technically he could have done it, but when you do that, you run the risk of a lot of things. Obviously, you run the risk of the change. Well, you don't run the risk. You actually change the geometry of the bike. So that could potentially be a problem. And then on top of that, since the bike is leaning at a different angle, the kickstand, you'd have an issue with that. The bike could potentially fall over. I'm just gonna get ahead of you. The bike could fall over if you were on uneven ground. So that's something that I just didn't want to run the risk of. And honestly, I don't think the mechanic even felt comfortable doing it. So it's just kind of one of those things where they're like, yeah, nah, just put them on the way that you can, and I'll deal with it later. But I say all that just to say that originally when I had originally when I had called about getting the bike lowered and I placed the order, I told them about the clip-ons, and the guy told me, he was like, look, they don't make clip-ons for you or whatever. I don't even think he measured them or anything like that. I'm not saying that he was wrong or anything, but he was right, because they don't technically make clip-ons that fit a certain way. And he just told me I don't think they make any that I could just bolt on that wouldn't require some type of modification. So after she explained to me the way that the lowering links work, I figured that might be the modification that I actually need. So hopefully it'll be a situation to where I drop the bike off to get lowered, and I can talk to her about exactly what I want with these clip-ons, and they can bolt them on, and we'll get the bike back in a much I guess aggressive seating position and better handling as well. Because I honestly think super sports handle a lot better than commuter bikes. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but but obviously you sacrifice the comfortability for a much more aggressive seating position. And the funny thing about it is, honestly, sometimes I don't think that the commuter position is as comfortable. It sounds weird, like it's comfortable, but sometimes in certain situations where you do need to turn or lean over or get out the way, it just feels like it would be much more advantageous, maybe that's the word to use, to have a much more aggressive handling, not even seating position, but just the handling position in general, you know what I mean? But that could all be psychological, I guess, in the head. It might not be true, but these roads are terrible over here. Like, it is not a good ride over here. Besides the roads, I don't know what it is. I don't know if I just feel, maybe I'm just a little tired today. I'm not really feeling it. Like, everything feels weird. My helmet feels like it's fitting on me weird. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little tired. Who knows? I was really hoping that this ride would wake me up, but I don't know what it is. Got about 12 more minutes left. Hopefully by then I'll be good. It's kind of cold out here. Well, I mean, it's not too cold. Earlier it was probably like 40 degrees. What's up, Pimpin'? Earlier it was about 40 degrees. That dude was on a KTM 390? No helmet, no nothing. Dude was just wearing a poo shiesty. Like, alright. But yeah, it was about 40 degrees earlier. And I honestly thought earlier from looking at the weather that it was gonna be a pretty nasty day all day, just pretty cold and stuff, but actually heated up pretty good and came out to be about I think it's about 65 degrees right now. 61 or 65, somewhere in between there. And it doesn't feel too bad either, but I say all that to say that my nose is starting to run a little bit, so, could just be getting, a little cold. Just need to get some rest and knock that out. But we got shit to do, baby. Oh my God. You think avoiding the freeways is the safest move? Getting on these nasty roads is just terrible. Good God. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but that car just like skirted, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, that scared the shit out of me. Lately, I've been like hella nervous and just kind of like looking behind me a whole lot. I know you're supposed to all the time, but I don't know. I've just been nervous. I've been seeing like videos on the gram of people getting tagged from behind as they're sitting there at the light or whatever. So, I try to get to the side of the car or whatever car that I'm, is in front of me. I damn near try to almost like lane split, get up on that mug, but gotta be careful with certain people. I don't know, so when I heard that car go skirt, I ain't gonna lie to you, kind of scared the shit out of me, so, just try and be as careful as I can. But, people are pretty good for the most part, depending on where you are. It's rare that I get people who really just like crowd me, so I guess that's a good thing. People tend to give me my space. I feel like Houston is the only city, well, probably not the only city, but I mean, there's constantly construction going on. I mean, it's almost like everywhere you go, there's construction going on. And it'd be like 20-year long projects. There's some stuff to be under construction, been under construction since I was a kid. Oh, look at buddy on that e-bike right there. Man, I've been seeing a lot of them e-bikes. They kind of cool, man. I ain't gonna lie, I saw 2 kids on the e-bike with two young kids, whatever, on the e-bike going down Westheimer probably like a couple weeks ago, and shoot, they was pulling wheelies on that bad boy. I was like, all right, check them out. They look like a lot of fun, man. But they're just so expensive. I feel like, for the price that you pay for an e-bike, it's almost like why not just get a a Grom or something. I don't know. I feel like for that amount of money, I want something fuel injected, I guess, or something with a little more power, something that I ain't gotta be so cautious about where I'm riding to and where I'm going. If I get low on whatever it takes to operate it, I can just pull over and give me some gas. I ain't got time to be stopping and charging it, mounting the battery pack and all that. Okay. Got the kids out here on their little scooty. A couple of days ago, I actually got a screen protector for my bike, and it's pretty nice, man, because I noticed that since this cord or this wire or whatever the case may be can't be tucked in there for whatever the modifications that he made with my clip-ons, it was beginning to scratch the screen up. So I was like, yeah, nah, let me find me an actual screen protector, and it's pretty nice. I actually can't even see the scratches that was starting to get on the screen. I mean, I figured I didn't really care, about that, scratching it up. I guess I was just supposed to like let it scratch the screen protector. If it's gonna scratch anything, but it doesn't even seem like it's scratching the screen protector. Well, I guess that's not fair because this is my first time riding it. My bike's actually been sitting for, I don't know, maybe about 5 days. I haven't ridden. I actually got a chance to ride with my neighbor. She has a Kawasaki Eliminator, and I saw her. I mean, obviously we've been living in the same apartment for a few years now, and we've always seen each other in passing. I always knew that she rode. I didn't have my bike at the time, but when I finally got my bike, I was outside in the garage tinkering around with it, fixing some stuff, and she was driving in, and she was just like, yo, that's you? And I was like, yeah. She was like, yo, we gotta link up and go for a ride. So I was actually taking, I think I was taking my dog out the other night. She was coming in. I was joking, honestly. I was just like, yo, what up with that ride? It was, I want to say it was like 9 o'clock at night. So it was kind of one of the moments where it's kind of like, you know, you kind of tired and you be thinking maybe the other person's tired too. And you be like, yo, what's up? What we getting into? And then they for real be like, oh yeah, shit, I'm about to put my gear on right now. What's happening? And I'm just like, oh, wasn't expecting that. But, you know, I kind of put myself, you know, into it. So I was like, all right, cool. You know what? I'll go ahead and take a ride. So it was actually a really cool ride. Nice ride. I really hope this place is legit because last time I took my phone to one of these type spots, they actually messed up the back of my phone. And it wasn't until like a day or so later that I realized they had put like a bootleg phone. Like they put a bootleg back on the back of the phone. It was a whole bunch of mess. But I mean, they fixed it, but you know, it wasn't, it was weird. I can't even remember how it happened, but I didn't realize it. You know what's funny? As I traded the phone a couple days later, I guess it's in the Walmart. I traded the phone a couple days later, and I didn't realize it until the guy at the Apple store was like, hey, did you take this somewhere? And, you know, I was just kind of like, yeah. But he went on ahead and took it and, you know, gave me what it was worth for it, so that's a good thing. Yeah. Let's see where I can leave this bad boy. It's gonna be here. Okay, they got a Charlie's. What? They got a Charlie's Philly cheesesteak up on here? That's wild. Okay, I guess this is where I need to be. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Good, man. I think I talked to you on the phone about the iPhone 16 camera lens. Yeah. All right, so phone all fixed up. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I almost had to get that old boy in there. I wouldn't have been there. Mind you, I called him before I got here. Asked him how much it was gonna be to get this thing done. He told me one price. I get here, buddy trying to tell me another price. I'm like, hey dog, that is not what you told me on the phone. He was like, oh, I was just making a joke with you. I'm like, no, the fuck you wasn't. I'm like, it looked like I came up here to joke around, bro. Like, fix my phone, G. And I'm usually a cool dude, man. I like being nice to people. Like, ain't nothing wrong, you know what I'm saying? Being cool, being a man of your word or whatever the case may be. Now, I guess, you know, he didn't know that I was the same dude that he talked to, but stop trying to be shiesty. Be straight up, G. Whatever. It's the name of the game. It's the hustle. That's how people move. That's how they get their chicken. Anyways, guys, I'm all done. All wrapped up. I checked my battery before I took off to record the rest of this vlog, and I'm actually pretty low. I'm somewhere probably around about 12%, so I don't know how much I'm gonna get, but I know right now that it's still on, so I figure I might as well just go ahead and outro this vid. Just wanted to hop on here, have a quick little ride with me, give you guys an update on the bike, you know, what I got going on, and yeah, really just enjoy my ride. I was really enjoying my little ride, I ain't gonna lie to you. That little incident at the cell phone shop almost got me out my character. I ain't gonna front with you, but no need for that. It's all good. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you all for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy the rest of my ride and relax and jam out to some music. Thank you for subscribing if you're new. If you're old, been here, appreciate you. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.